Worst thing that ever happened to the blacks was the civil rights movement, other than abortion.
So here's my response to that video. I mean, this is a prime example of why nobody takes these black Republicans seriously. They make the most outrageous and ridiculous statements ever in order to pander to their white audiences, to pander to their white base, to pander to their white daddy. And it's just a shame, man. I mean, the worst thing that happened to black people was not the civil rights movement. The civil rights movement benefited black people in many ways. As a result of the civil rights movement, you have an expanded black middle class, you have more black elected officials than we've ever had, you have higher education rates in the black community, lower poverty rates. All of this stuff is well documented. So the civil rights movement gave us the right to vote, gave us basic human and civil rights, the right to use basic public accommodations. We no longer have to sit in the back of the bus. We no longer have to deal with the conditions of Jim Crow that we had to deal with back then, where somebody could be lynched for looking at a white woman, where somebody could be lynched simply for trying to exercise their right to vote and things of that nature, where you didn't even have a basic right to eat where you want to and sit where you want to on a bus. And this man has the nerve and has the gall to say that that's the worst thing that ever happened to black people. Well, I beg to differ. The worst thing that ever happened to black people was slavery, black people being enslaved for hundreds of years, where you had a situation where many black people, millions of black people died during the Middle Passage. You had black people being dehumanized, reduced to property instead of being treated as human beings, raped and stripped of everything that identified themselves, their languages, their cultures, their religions, all of their unique characteristics stripped from them as a result of slavery. So slavery by far was the worst thing that ever happened to black people. I mean, these people constantly romanticize the days of Jim Crow. Romanticize a time when black people had to sit in the colored section, romanticize a time where black people were prevented from going to certain places, where black people did not have the right to vote, romanticizing a time where black people were lynched regularly as if it was some kind of sporting event for white supremacists. They would gather their family members and like they were going to a baseball game or a football game to watch a black man suffer. They were entertained by our suffering and our pain. Have we forgotten about Emmett Till? Those are the days you want to romanticize. Those are the good old days. And I could go on and on, but